Yeah, Mike Carroll, the rush for these same-sex marriage licenses appears to be largely over. Here in Milwaukee County, there were 60 same-sex marriage licenses issued on Friday. There were more than 70 issued on Saturday. That number dropped to about 40 on Monday. When I checked in just before closing today, that number for today, less than 5.
We are gathered here today.
This is hardly the wedding ceremony Lori Heinrich and April Conkey envisioned.
I obviously would have chosen to be wearing something a little bit fancier than jeans and, a white t-shirt.
It's scary because we don't know if it's going to get overturned in the next day or two, and then you can't do it.
Legally married in the state of Wisconsin.
The same courthouse that same-sex couples packed with families and friends over the weekend now looks like an average Tuesday.
In all probability, we're looking at a federal stay.
Brookfield attorney Kathleen Hume specializes in LGBT law. She anticipates the courts will put a hold on same-sex marriages very soon. Couples fear their time will run out.
Many of the first people were people who had been partners for long periods of time, 15, 20, 30 years. And they saw this as perhaps their only chance.
We've been together almost 20 years, and we plan on being together forever.
Bob Lemmer and Steve Miklowski have been a couple for a long time, but their window to get married may be short.
I feel it's bad and unjust, too, that people that love each other and have been together for so long have to rush out and actually make their commitment legal.
I checked in with many counties today, and clerks telling me they only issued 2, 3, 4 same-sex marriage licenses today. And remember, there still are several counties in Wisconsin who are refusing to issue any same-sex marriage licenses. Live tonight at the Milwaukee County Courthouse, Tom Murray, today's TMJ4.
Yeah, a lot of complexities in this. Thank you, Tom.
So, what legal rights do gay couples have?
And what legal obligations do their employers and insurance companies have? 620 WTMJ's Jeff Wagner is a former federal prosecutor. He is here to sort that out.
So, Jeff, let's start with the couples. Do they now have the same legal rights as all married couples? And if so, what are those rights?
Well, I wish I could be more precise, but the answer is nobody knows. And that's just, the Attorney General takes the position that essentially none of these marriages are valid because the law barring these marriages is still in effect, and essentially takes the position that the clerks didn't have the authority to issue the licenses and they're not valid. Now, obviously, the clerks take a different position. So the answer, quite candidly, is nobody knows for sure. And I'll tell you, this is probably going to come up in a couple different contexts. Maybe it's going to be, if this matter isn't decided by the Supreme Court, when married same-sex couples try to file state income taxes jointly. We'll see what the state does. But nobody knows for sure. Some people would say, yeah, it's just as valid as a typical marriage. Other people would say, no, it's not. And we're not going to have a definitive answer for a while.
Yeah, and then there's the other big angle. What are the obligations of the employers? And do insurance companies really have to provide benefits for gay spouses, Jeff?
Well, yeah, Carolyn, and you hit on an excellent point, because I think that's one of the ways this issue is going to come to a head. Let's say you have a same-sex couple that was married on Saturday. One works for a company that extends benefits to married employees but doesn't extend benefits to same-sex couples. That person walks in the next day or so and says, okay, now I've got my spouse. I want to put him on my health insurance, all those things. And depending on how the company reacts, you're going to have a lawsuit about that. So, there's going to be a ton of litigation moving forward, and that's going to happen, I think, regardless of whether a stay is issued tomorrow or a week from now.
Still many unresolved issues. Thanks a lot, Jeff.